A vile odor that people say is trapping them in their homes. It's the subject of a class action lawsuit and multiple investigations. The company seeking to dismiss the lawsuit. First Coast News is now learning the factory blamed for the smell also releases high levels of toxic chemicals. Now that is according to data from the EPA. On Your Side's Renata DiGregorio was the first to report on this story. She's now speaking exclusively to representatives for the company blamed and sued over the stench.
So anytime the wind is blowing from the northwest, I tend to smell it.
It's like being inside of a Pine Sol bottle.
You can taste it in your mouth almost.
From Ortega to Riverside.
There have been times where I've questioned if I want to live here.
Lives disrupted.
Intense headaches, insomnia, coughing.
When it's bad, and I just can't enjoy the outside.
What am I breathing in? What will she breathe in when she's born?
What residents call a sickening, vile odor, reported more than 700 times to the city of Jacksonville between October and May leads to a civil lawsuit and a cease and desist order last December. The factory's been on Lane Avenue since the 1930s. Turning crude sulfate turpentine into fragrances for air fresheners and deodorants. A process that generates thousands of pounds of hazardous emissions. In addition, nearby residents claim to a terrible smell.
All of a sudden, I was hit with this intense chemical smell, which I had never witnessed before.
International Flavors and Fragrances acquired the plant in 2000.
I would say it's 2-3 times a week.
But nearby residents have complained about it for years.
Sometimes it smells like a septic smell.
It's not good. It's terrible.
When you walk out the door in the morning, it just takes your breath.
What is new is the footprint of complaints coming from as far as 8 miles away.
If you go to IFF, you will smell the exact same thing so hyperbolically that it brings you to tears.
The wind direction is almost like on the exact path it would take, right, from IFF to my house.
The company disputes that the odors are coming from IFF. Spokesperson Michael Munns cites the company's odor study, which says it captures all vapors from the turpentine it processes and incinerates them in the boiler.
There's no byproduct that is emitted into the air or any other way, so there's no way that turpentine could be causing any of the community concerns.
Munns points to the results of a study by an IFF consultant, which did not find airborne terpene nor sulfur, but did find styrene, a sweet-smelling chemical used by nearby factories to make plastic and fiberglass.
We're not particularly pointing a finger at any one plant. We want to know, as much as everybody else does, what is the cause.
Residents believe IFF is misdirecting them.
I had a PhD in gaslighting on that day.
The company is in compliance with its state air permit, but it is still a significant source of toxic emissions, which the EPA categorizes as pollutants known or suspected to cause cancer or other serious health effects. IFF emissions include thousands of pounds of chlorine, formaldehyde, hydrochloric acid, and chromium. Munn says emissions data have no relation to odor or risk, and he notes several local industrial facilities have higher emissions. According to EPA data, IFF typically exceeds median hazard levels of emissions at the county, state, and national level.
It's just simply not that easy.
Christopher Teef is the director of Florida State University's Center for Biomedical and Toxicological Research and works with DEP.
There's perhaps a perception that you should be able to smell something and say, aha, now I know where it's coming from. It's virtually never that way.
He says locating the source of a particular smell isn't easy. City officials are considering spending $80,000 for a year-long study to help pinpoint the source of the odor. But for residents, each day that passes can feel like punishment.
Not feeling like I'm always going to be able to go outside and breathe in some fresh air, that's frustrating.
I'm Renata DiGregorio, First Coast News. On your side.